Good morning, grade 3. We just started learning term 2 science lessons, and we started the lesson number 1, birds and their food, in our last class. That is part 1 of lesson number 1, term 2. So today we'll be doing part 2, term 2, lesson number 1. That is birds and their food. So let's learn the lesson in detail, and we will complete the lesson today. Birds and their food. So last class, what did we learn? We have learned about the body parts of a bird. And before we learned body parts of the bird, we studied about how the unique feature of the birds is helping them to fly. How are the birds able to fly? Are we able to fly? No, we are not able to fly. Only birds can fly. So this we have learned in our last class. Yes. And what are the features that will help the bird to fly? That also we studied in the last class. So what are the features? Let us just revise them. A bird can fly because of its following features. What are those body features? Light body, hollow bones, boat-shaped body, wings and feathers, strong muscles, and the tail. So the light body and the light bones, hollow bones, are helping the bird to fly in the sky. Because we have heavy bodies and we don't have wings, we are not able to fly in the sky. And the birds are able to fly because they have light body, they have feathers on their body, hollow bones. These are all helping the birds to fly in the sky. And how do they change the direction? The tail will help them to change the direction. When they are flying in the sky, all of a sudden, if the bird wants to turn to right, so the tail will turn to that direction. So the bird also will turn to that direction. So the body parts of the bird also were discussed. We saw what all parts the bird has. We saw that it has eye. If you can look at this picture, figure 1.2 is clearly giving you the picture of the bird, the parts of the body of the bird. So look at the picture to revise. We have a beak, eyes, heads, tail, claws, wings, and the flight feathers. So again, when we talked about the feathers, we learned about two kinds of feathers. One is the down feathers, other one is the flight feathers. What are the down feathers? The down feathers that will cover the body of the bird and it will keep it warm, just like how you are wearing your dress, your sweater. The down feathers will protect the bird from the heat, cold, and rain. But these flight feathers are long, flat feathers that remain attached to the wings of the tail. So they help the bird to fly and hence are called as the flight feathers. So wings are the main body part of a bird that helps it to fly. Wings also help them to dive in the air. So how do birds fly? Now today we are going to learn about how do birds fly. So yesterday we learned about the down feathers and flight feathers, right? So these are the different types of feathers. So I told you to draw the pictures of parts of a bird and also the feathers. Hope you must have completed the activity. So how do the birds fly? So we have seen in the sky sometimes the birds will flap the feather wings like this. So they will create some kind of air pressure. So that air pressure will push the bird up and it goes up in the into the air. So when it reaches very high in the air, it does not need to flap its wings anymore. So it will be steady like this. You must have seen in the sky the birds are moving like this. So when they are down, they will be moving the wings like this. They will be moving the wings. When they go up, when the air pushes them, they go up. So they will go like this. They will not have to do the flapping of the wings again. So how is the stroke coming, how is the movement of the wings coming, that is again called as the upstroke and downstroke. What is it called? Upstroke and downstroke. So what is upstroke? When the wings move upwards, the movement of the wings is called as the upstroke movement. When the wings of the bird move downwards, it is called as the downstroke movement. So can you just show me with your hands? Upstroke, downstroke. Show me once again. Upstroke, downstroke. So the wings are flapping up, that is called as the upstroke. The wings are flapping down, that is called as the downstroke. So when the wings move downwards, the movement of the wings is called as a downstroke movement. So both the upstroke and downstroke, they do very repeatedly. They will be doing flapping the wings like very fast. Then the air will come. Like how you do the fan like this. What happens when you do the fan like this? You're getting air. Yes, you can just try and see. You're getting air. So just like that, when it is flapping the wings, like two fans are flapping, lot of air will come. That air is pushing the bird upward. Did you understand? Now, birds fly to different extents. Now we're going to learn about how the birds fly to different extents. Different extents means nothing but different regions. How the birds which fly over long distances. So some of the birds will fly to very, very long distances. Some birds such as pigeon and crow fly over long distances. In olden days, pigeons were used to carry letters from one place to another. So now crow and pigeon can fly over very long distances. This also I think we have learned. Now today we will be learning about the different kinds of beaks and birds which fly very short distances. This also we studied in the last class. Some birds such as cock and hen fly only short distances. They usually walk. And birds which fly to greater heights. Some birds as eagle, vulture and kite, they fly great heights. They have very sharp eyes to see their prey on the ground. So eagle, kite, vulture, they fly so high in the sky, but even then they are able to see the prey, that is the food of the bird. That is, if the fish is jumping in the water, they can easily see that there is a fish in the pond from the top of the sky. From there they see and they just come and take the fish and go. So you must have seen some videos how vultures and eagles, they capture the food. So because how are they able to do it? Because their eyesight is very, very sharp. They can see things from very long distance. That is how they are able to catch the prey. Prey is the food of the bird. Now, in page number 107, we have the different pictures of the birds which fly low and which do not fly at all. So let's have a look at these birds. Figure 1.8, I want you all to see like this picture. So what is shown in this picture? Some birds such as sparrow, they fly at very low heights. Even we know that. Wherever we have the buildings, there only we see the small birds flying. Birds which do not fly at all. There are some birds which do not fly at all. Why? Because the body is very heavy for them. Some birds do not fly at all. They move on the earth with the help of their legs. These birds are also called as flightless birds. So what are they called as? Flightless birds, because they do have the feathers of this down feather and flight feathers, but their body is heavy, so they cannot fly in the sky. They will only walk with the help of their legs. So what are these flightless birds? We have the kiwi, which is very heavy in its body, ostrich and penguin. These are the birds which cannot fly because they have very short feathers, wings and feathers which are not developed much. Okay. That is the reason why they are not able to fly in the sky. Next is about the water birds. In page 107, the last paragraph talks about the water birds. There are many birds which live in water. They have oil glands which do not allow their feathers to get wet or spoiled by water. Therefore, these feathers are called as the waterproof feathers. So, even if the rain comes, they will not become wet. Even if it becomes wet, it gets dried immediately, like how you wear your raincoat. Just like that, these birds have the feathers which are waterproof. Therefore, these feathers are called as the waterproof feathers. What are they called? Waterproof feathers. Okay, so waterproof feathers. What are these? So, uh, uh, water birds have webbed toes which help them to swim in the water. So, they are in the water. How will they move? If it is on the earth, they can walk and move. If it is in the water, how will they do? The webbed feet of the uh, frog and the duck, for example, I'm just telling you. So how will they move in the water? It will help them like oars, like how we move the boat. It helps them like the oar. So water birds have webbed toes which help them to swim in water. Common examples are ducks, swans, gulls, pelicans, and cranes. So I want you to learn all these spellings very nicely. So look at these bird pictures, so beautiful. Ducks, swans, pelicans, and the crane. All these are the water birds which cannot fly, which have webbed feet. So what are webbed feet again? The feet are, for example, you have the bird's feet like this. Okay, okay, it is the bird's feet, for example. But how do you think it is called as a web? We are saying it as a webbed feet, right? So what do you mean by webbed feet? Webbed feet means they will be having a covering like this. Okay, so this is full of sheath membrane. So that will help them like moving like oars when they are walking in the water. Now, how about the feet and the claws of the bird? We have it from page number 108. I want all of you to open to page 108. Feet and claws of the birds. Different birds have different types of feet and claw. These differ in shape and size. The claws of the birds are very helpful to them. They help in catching, holding, and eating food. They help the birds in walking, swimming, climbing, and perching. They protect the birds from their enemies. Let us learn about some common types of feet and claws of the bird. So, how are the claws and the feet of the birds helpful? Like how we are using our hands and legs. The birds also have the feet, birds also have the claws. So how are they helping? They help them in catching and holding and eating the food. What all acts we do with our hand? We eat food, we hold our things, right? So the same way how we are using our hands, the bird will use its claws because it has only two feet, two legs and two claws. I mean four to five claws. So those will be helping the birds to catch the prey, catch the food, walking, swimming, climbing, perching, everything. They protect the birds from their enemies. So let us learn more about it. Perching birds. What do you mean by perching birds? Perching. So this lesson is little lengthy, and it has more new points in this. So we will be writing more new words in this lesson. So after completing the lesson, we will do the new words. I will make you write. So perching birds. What are the perching birds? Birds such as crows, sparrows and miners have four toes, three in front and one at the back. Their toes help them to hold the branch of a tree very firmly. This act is called perching. Do you know? This is called as the perching habit of the birds. So what do you mean by perching? What do you mean by perching? The bird will be holding the stem or the branch very nicely. This act is called as perching. Do you know why birds can sleep on the branch of a tree at night without falling? Perching birds helps the birds to sleep in upright position without falling. So they are able to hold the branch very tightly like this. The three claws in front and one claw behind. The three claws in front and one claw behind. Okay. Forget about your other finger. So they will be holding the branch like this and they are able to sleep on the branch over the night. You will be looking at the bird sitting on the branch and you will think that the bird is not sleeping, but the bird is sleeping on the branch by holding it very, very tightly. So this perching helps the birds in hopping on the ground. So perching helps them to hold the branch, that is one thing. And for example, this is the branch and here is the claws, and on the other side you have the, okay, so this is the way it is holding the, this is the bird. Okay, how is it holding the branch? It's easily able to hold with the help of its claws. Now, perching also helps a bird in hopping on the ground. Turn to page 109. So now you know what is perching of the birds. So that means holding the branch of a tree without any problem. Even they can sleep by during perch. Next is 109 page. Climbing birds. We are learning about the climbing birds. So what are the climbing birds? Birds such as the parrots and woodpeckers have two toes pointing forward and two toes pointing backward. These toes help them to climb up and to cling to the bark of the trees. So they have two toes pointing forward and two toes like this they have. Okay, this is the branch. Okay, and one toe is like this and the other two toes are like this. So this is how the bird is having the feet on the branch. So these are the climbing birds. The parrot will climb the branches and trees. The woodpeckers will also climb the branches and trees. So they have these two toes pointing forward and two toes pointing backward. You can look at the picture where you have the claws, two in the front and two at the back are shown. Now, praying birds. What are the praying birds? Eagles, hawks, vultures and owls are praying birds. They attack and eat small animals. These birds have very strong and sharp claws called talons. What do they have? Talons. The spelling is Talons, talons. So these are the praying birds. The praying birds. Praying means what? Preying, praying birds. What do you mean by pray? Prey. Prey is the food of the bird. That is the food of the bird is called as the prey. Okay. So eagles, hawks, vultures and owls are preying birds. They attack and eat small animals. These birds have very strong and sharp claw like talons. They usually have three toes pointing forward and one toe pointing backward. So they have three toes forward and one toe backward. These claws help them to catch and hold their prey firmly. These birds may carry their prey to long distances. Sometimes you see the eagle or a hawk flying high up in the air carrying its prey. The eagle will fly so high in the sky, but it can hold the prey with its feet because the claws are very strong. They are called as the talons. What are the strong claws of the eagle called? Talons. Very good. So you read the lesson twice, you will understand and you will remember the important points. Now, so you see the picture, you will easily understand how strong are the talons of the eagle. This is the eagle and this is the talons of the eagle. Next is about the scratching birds. Birds such as hens, and quails use their feet for scratching the ground. They do so to bring out the buried food, seeds, and insects from the earth. So, what will they do? They will dig the soil and they will get the food from it. These birds have strong legs with three long toes in front and one short toe at the back. Each of these toes has a sharp, horny claw to dig. So, what are these birds? The hen is such bird. Scratching birds walk and run on the ground. You see the picture, you will understand how they scratch the ground. Next is wading birds. The birds which can walk over shallow water are called wading birds. Paddy birds, cranes are wading birds. The wading birds have thin, long legs with wide spreading toes. These toes keep the feet from sinking in the soft mud. So, swimming birds. The swimming birds, such as the duck and the swan, have webbed feet. Their feet have special webs of skin between toes. Such birds can push back water with the help of toes while swimming. This I have already shown you the webbed feet, how they are able to swim in the water. The water birds, when we spoke about, I told you about this. They have the webbed feet like this. Okay, so they are able to move them like the oars of the boat. While doing boating, what do? We'll move the oars of the boats. Now, we will be learning about the food habits of the birds. So, we learnt about the wings, we learnt about the claws, and we have learnt about the flight habits of the birds. Now we will be learning about the food habits of the birds. As I told you, this lesson is little lengthy and you have to read it very nicely. You have to read the lesson 2 times, 3 times, and also it is less only because there are so many new terms you are learning in this lesson. Now, different kinds of birds have different kinds of food habits. Birds, like other living things, need food. Just like other living things, they also need food. But they do not have teeth to eat their food. They pick up their food with the help of their beaks. Different kinds of birds have different types of beaks. The shape of the beak tells us about the kind of food they eat. Some birds also use their beaks to protect themselves from their enemies. Different kinds of beaks. So, what are the different kinds of beaks? Some of them have a very short beak like this. Some of them have, the parrot will have a very sharp beak like this, and the sparrow will have a very small beak like this. Okay, and the vulture will have a very strong beak like this. So, like this, different birds have different kinds of beak, and the owl will have a beak like this. So they have the hooked beaks. Some of them, like the hooked beaks, a parrot has a hooked or curved beak. It helps it to crack the nuts and the hard fruits. The curved beak helps it to eat even hard and unripe fruits. The hooked beak also helps birds to climb. So eagles, vultures, kites, owls, and hawks have the strong, sharp, hooked beaks. Such beaks help them to tear the flesh into small pieces. So every beak has its purpose. They tear the flesh. Okay, they use it for walking and holding, or they just help like holding the prey, holding the food. Let me call it as food because some children get confused. Holding the food of the bird. So for that, the beaks will help to tear the food, like how we are using our hands to tear our food. The birds will use the beaks to tear the food. Now turn to page 112, and there we will find some different kinds of birds and their beaks like this. So let's complete the lesson today. The chisel shaped beaks. A woodpecker has strong and heavy beak. This shape of the beak is also called as a chisel shaped beak. It helps it to make holes in the trunks of the trees and picks up insects for its food. So see the chisel shaped food, a chisel shaped beak which helps it to take the food from the wood. Short and broad beaks. Swallows have Broad and short beaks. Their mouths are very sticky from inside. The swallows go round and round in the air, keeping their beak open. They catch tiny flying insects and flies, which stick inside their mouth while flying. So they go on flying in the sky like this by keeping the mouth open. Ah. So as they are moving, when you open your mouth, what happens? Insects will go into your mouth. Just like that, the bird is using that technique. It's opening the mouth and flying around. So all the insects are going inside. That becomes the food of the bird. Very interesting. Now, long and slender beaks. A hoopoe has a long and slender beak. It uses its beak to pull out insects from holes of the ground. This is the hoopoe. Okay, this is using the long beak to dig the insects. Broad and flat beaks. Ducks have broad and flat beaks. The beaks have tiny holes called shovels at the sides. So what are the holes in the beaks called? Shovels. Shovels. What are these? The duck has a beak like this. How is the beak of a duck? It's like this. Okay. So it has a hole here. That is called as the shovel. 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 This is the beak of the duck, and there is a hole. Why do they have the hole? Because the water will come out of it. Water and mud flow out through these strainers, leaving tiny worms, plants, insects in the mouth. The kingfishers and the storks have broad, long, and pointed beaks. Such beak helps them to catch fish from the rivers and ponds for their food. So the last picture is showing you about the beak, which is sharp and pointed, which is helping the birds to catch the fish from the rivers and ponds for their food. So last but not the least, we have the long, thin, and the pointed beaks. A sunbird has a very long, thin, and pointed beak. This beak helps it to suck nectar or juice from the fruit of the flower. So how is the beak? It's like a long, pointed, needle-like beak, which can be put into the flower, and it can take the nectar from inside the flower. There is nectar inside the flower. So how will the bird take? This bird will feed on the nectar, honey. How will it do? It will keep the nose deep inside the flower and sucks the honey or whatever nectar is present. Initially it is called as the nectar when the bird takes. So the nectar will be taken by the bird. So now we have the important points to just read, and let's read. You read in your mind along with your teacher. Most of the birds can fly. Birds fly with the help of flapping movement of their wings. Birds such as kiwi, ostrich, and penguin do not fly at all. Birds fly at different heights. Different birds have different types of feet and claws. The claws of birds are helpful to them in the following ways. The claws help them in catching the eating food. They help in walking, climbing, swimming, and perching, and they protect the birds from their enemies. So in this lesson, I'm giving you activity 1, activity 2. Here you have to make two charts or two sides of the chart. How will you make? You have to put different kinds of beaks on one chart. What will you make? Different kinds of beaks. This is one chart. Stick the picture, write one sentence about it. Next, you have to do feet and claws. Feet and claws of the birds. Okay. In each category, how many you have to stick? You have to stick 5 pictures. 5 pictures in each category. You have to do this activity without fail. And if you don't do this activity, You will not understand this lesson, let me tell you. And I gave you the work of drawing this bird also previously. So I want everybody to do the work nicely. Okay, please stop the video and make a note and then you continue. We are writing the new words from this lesson because there are so many new words. I want to give the new words to the children so that you can write with your teacher. From this lesson number 1, I want to give the new words. Start writing with your teacher. So after reading the lesson, you have to complete the textbook exercises on your own. So reading the lesson is important, and while you're writing the new words, say the word and write, and you learn the spellings also. So we will write chirping. What is chirping? chirping. The bird's making sound is called as the chirping. Next is unique. 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 Feathers. Feathers. Hollow. 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 Bones. 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 Wings. Wings. Muscles. Muzzle. So first try the 7 words. Chirping, unique, feathers, hollow, bones, wings, muzzles. You have to stop the video and write the words. Next, we have number 8. Beak. Beak. Claw. Claw. Tail. Flight. Feathers. Down. Feathers. Strong. Upstroke. Beak, claw, tail, flight, down, strong, upstroke. You have to stop the video and write the words. As I told you, this lesson is a big lesson, so I'm giving you more words to learn. Now, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Now, what are the words? Upstroke we are done. So we'll write downstroke. DOWN, down. STROKE, stroke. Downstroke. Next one is pigeon, vulture. Names of the birds. Simple ones we are not writing. Penguin. Next, flight. Less. Webbed. Pelicans. Learn the spelling. So, downstroke, pigeons, vulture, penguin, flightless, webbed, pelicans. 22, 23. I'll write the words from here. Praying birds. P-E-R-E-Y-I-N-G. Scratching. S-C-R-A-T-C-H-I-N-G. Scratching. T-A-L-O-N-S. Talons. Wading birds. W-A-D-I-N-G. Swimming you all know, so we are not writing. Chisel shaped beak. K-I-N-G-F-I-S-H-E-R. Kingfisher. Excuse me. Next is perching. P-E-R-C-H-I-N-G. Perching. We didn't write this. Perching. Walking, climbing, swimming, you all know. Perching is something new, so you have to praying, scratching, perching. Praying, scratching, talons, wading, chisel, kingfisher, perching. So these are the new words of this lesson. So you have to stop the video and then write your spellings. So after the new words, what is your next task? After the two activities I told you, two charts you have to make, and you have to complete sticking pictures, writing one sentence about each bird on the chart. After the new words, you have to learn the spellings. Learn spellings. Okay. Next, I want you to read the lesson and do the exercises in the textbook. How many times you have to read? 2 times. Next, you have to write Q&A from the printed notes 3 times. Remember, you have to do all the activities that I told you without fail. No shortcuts. So only then you will understand this lesson. This lesson is a big lesson. I want you to read the lesson and complete the exercises which are very interesting, like this. The different kinds of beaks you have to choose, tick, match. All these activities are matching activities, very simple. Only you can do if you read the lesson. So if everything is done by your teacher, you will not be learning things. So that's all for this lesson. The different kinds of birds. We learned about the beaks, we learned about the wings, food habits of the birds. So various things we learned in this lesson. So all the new words are very important, and all the activities, question answer, very important. Read them thoroughly and learn them. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.